Shadows stretched long and thin as the sun dipped below the horizon. The last rays of daylight clung desperately to the rooftops, casting an orange glow that was quickly fading to purple twilight. The air grew heavy with the promise of night, a time when the world held its breath and anything seemed possible. Something ancient and unknowable, lurking at the edge of perception. For tonight, the veil between our world and something far more sinister was wearing thin. The stories had been circulating for years, passed in hushed tones around campfires and whispered in the dark. They were the stuff of urban legend, dismissed as the overactive imaginations of children or the ramblings of those who had lingered too long in the shadows. But the fear in the eyes of those who told them spoke of something more, something real, something terrifying. They called them the black-eyed children, entities that masqueraded as lost and innocent youths, their true nature hidden beneath a veneer of normalcy. They would appear on doorsteps, their small hands rapping softly against the wood, their voices sweet and pleading as they asked for help. But those who dared to look into their eyes saw something chilling and inhuman. The stories always followed a similar pattern. A late-night encounter, a sense of overwhelming dread, and the chilling request to be let inside. Some spoke of strange occurrences after seeing the children, electronics malfunctioning, pets becoming agitated, a pervasive feeling of being watched. Others simply vanished, their disappearances shrouded in mystery. The legends spread like wildfire, fueled by fear and uncertainty. Were they demons in disguise, seeking entry into our world? Lost souls, trapped between realms, or something even more sinister, something that defied explanation? The truth, as always, remained elusive, hidden in the shadows alongside the black-eyed children themselves. As darkness deepened and the moon climbed higher, the veil between the ordinary and the unknown grew thin. A static charge set teeth on edge. Every creak and rustle sent shivers down spines. Families gathered, seeking comfort, but a primal fear lingered. Tonight, the black-eyed children walked among us, their motives shrouded in mystery, their true nature a terrifying enigma. This is the legend of the black-eyed children. The clock on the dashboard glowed a menacing red as Michael navigated the deserted highway. 1:17 a.m., another late night at the office. He sighed, exhaustion settling heavy on his shoulders. His eyelids felt like lead curtains. He switched on the radio, hoping to cut through the silence. Static. No use, only the hum of tires and the ticking clock. He rolled down the window, hoping to chase away drowsiness. As he turned onto his street, unease washed over him. The streetlights were unusually dim, casting long shadows. The houses were shrouded in darkness. Michael shook his head, trying to dispel the unease. It was just exhaustion playing tricks. He was almost home. He just needed to pull into the driveway and get inside. Everything would seem clearer in the morning. As Michael pulled into his driveway, his headlights flickered across two figures standing at the edge of his property. He slammed on the brakes, his heart pounding. Children? What were they doing out at this hour? He rolled down the window, hand trembling. "Hey there!" he called out, voice shaky. "Are you lost?" The figures didn't respond. They stood there, faces obscured by shadows. Michael tried again, louder. "Hello! Where are your parents?" Slowly they moved closer. As they stepped into the light, Michael felt a chill. They were just children, a boy and a girl. They wore jeans and hoodies, blending into the night, but their eyes were wrong. Wide and unblinking, devoid of colour, just two pools of solid black. Michael had never seen anything like it. It was unnerving, like coal pressed into their eye sockets. "Mister?" the boy spoke, his voice surprisingly deep for someone so young. "We need to come inside. We need to use your phone." The girl remained silent, her black eyes fixed on Michael. He tried to swallow, but his throat felt dry. "It's late," Michael stammered, "and my phone's dead anyway. Where are your parents? I can take you to the police station." The children didn't move. They just stood there. "We don't need the police," the boy said. "We need to come inside. Now." The girl nodded slowly. A wave of dizziness washed over him. He had to get out of here. He had to get away from these things. Something wasn't right. This wasn't normal. His mind screamed at him to drive away, but something held him there, paralyzed. It was as if his body refused to obey. Suddenly, as if a switch had been flipped, the sense of paralysis broke. Michael threw the car into reverse, his tires spitting gravel as he backed out of the driveway. He didn't dare take his eyes off the children as he shifted gears and sped away, the engine roaring in the stillness of the night. He glanced in the rearview mirror, his breath catching in his throat. The children were gone. He slowed the car, his mind racing. Had they been real? Or had exhaustion finally gotten the better of him, conjuring up hallucinations at the edge of his vision? He shook his head, trying to clear the image of those black, soulless eyes from his mind. He pulled into his driveway, his hands still trembling. As he got out of the car, his heart pounding in his chest, he couldn't shake the feeling that he was being watched. He hurried inside, locking the door behind him, double-checking the deadbolt for good measure. As he lay in bed, unable to sleep, the events of the night replayed in his mind. The empty highway, the dim streetlights, the two children with their impossible eyes and their chilling request. He couldn't shake the feeling that he had been given a warning, a glimpse into something dark and dangerous lurking just beneath the surface of his everyday life. And he knew, with a certainty that chilled him to the bone, that he would never forget the night he encountered the black-eyed children. The most unsettling feature of these nocturnal visitors was their eyes. Those eyes were terrifying voids consuming all light. Imagine the blackest night distilled into two perfect orbs. No white, no iris, just an endless, unsettling depth. Some described a faint glow like dying embers. Others saw movement within the blackness. The effect was universally unsettling. To meet their gaze was to experience primal fear. Their eyes held a dark knowledge, mocking innocence, a coldness that lingered in nightmares. Beyond the unnerving eyes, there was an unsettling aura surrounding the black-eyed children. They moved with an unnatural stillness, their bodies stiff and unyielding. Their voices, though soft, carried a strange resonance, a subtle distortion. Witnesses often described a feeling of intense pressure in their presence. Some reported a ringing in their ears, a high-pitched whine. Others experienced a sudden drop in temperature, a bone-chilling cold. Animals, too, seemed to sense their presence, reacting with fear and aggression. Dogs would bark incessantly, while cats would hiss and flee. Even insects seemed to vanish in their presence, leaving an unsettling silence. It was as if the natural world itself recognized these beings as something other. The black-eyed children were often described as being impeccably dressed. However, some witnesses reported a strange incongruity in their attire. This subtle detail, combined with their unnatural stillness, heightened the unease. The black-eyed children never shouted, never threatened, never resorted to physical force. Their power lay in their eerie presence, their unnerving gaze, and the unsettling feeling of dread that washed over anyone who crossed their path. Their voices, soft and sweet, were deceptively disarming, masking a chilling insistence. They typically appeared in pairs, most often a boy and a girl. Their requests were always simple, almost mundane. They needed to use the phone, they were lost and needed directions. They were cold and wanted to come inside. But beneath the surface of these seemingly innocuous requests, there was an unspoken demand. Those who dared to refuse their requests often spoke of a sudden shift in the atmosphere, a palpable wave of anger and frustration emanating from the children. The air would grow thick and heavy, the temperature plummeting as if a cold front had swept through the room. Objects might move on their own, lights flickering ominously as if unseen forces were at play. Yet despite the escalating sense of dread, the black-eyed children never resorted to violence. Instead, they would simply stare, their black eyes burning with an intensity that could make even the bravest soul question their sanity. And then, as quickly as they had appeared, they would vanish, leaving behind a lingering sense of unease and a chilling question. What would have happened if they had been let inside? The black-eyed children exerted an invisible hold over their victims, subtly manipulating their minds. It was not traditional hypnosis, but a creeping compulsion to comply with their whims. Some resisted, slamming doors shut, running to their cars, but the lingering effects haunted them, a persistent feeling of being watched. The unseen grip extended beyond the encounter, casting a long shadow. As the legend of the black-eyed children spread, a chilling pattern began to emerge. The encounters, though separated by time and geography, bore a striking resemblance. It was as if these eerie children were following a script. Sarah, in a quiet suburb, recounted her experience on a cold December night. She heard a soft tapping at the front door. Peering through the peephole, she saw two children. They looked cold and desperate. Hesitantly, she opened the door a crack. "Can we come inside?" the boy whispered. "We need to use your phone. Our car broke down." Sarah felt sympathy, but something set her on edge. "Where are your parents?" she asked. "What's your address?" The children didn't answer. They looked up, and Sarah saw their eyes. They were completely black, like two tiny pieces of the void. In rural Oregon, retired Officer Mark sat on his porch when two children approached. "We're lost and our phone is dead," the girl said. Mark felt a shiver as they asked to use his phone. Their stillness and dark eyes filled him with primal fear. He had never felt such a sense of wrongness. From bustling cities to sleepy suburbs, the stories continued to surface. A young couple driving home, their car sputtering to a stop on a deserted road, approached by two children asking for a ride. A gas station attendant startled by tapping on the glass door, finding two children outside, their eyes completely black. Each encounter shared a chilling common thread: the black-eyed children. Witnesses described the same overwhelming sense of dread, a primal fear gripping their hearts, something ancient and unknowable lurking just beyond reality, masquerading as lost children, preying on our empathy. The more we learned, the more unsettling the mystery became. Theories abounded, attempting to explain the origins and motives of these eerie entities. Some whispered of ancient legends, of creatures that lurked at the edges of human settlements, preying on the vulnerable, feeding off fear itself. Others spoke of interdimensional beings, accidentally crossing over into our reality, their true forms too terrible for our minds to comprehend, masking themselves as children to avoid detection. Paranormal investigators, drawn to the mystery like moths to a flame, offered their own explanations. Ghosts, demons, psychic vampires, all vying for a place in the ever-growing tapestry of the unknown. But no single theory could fully explain the phenomenon. No logical explanation could account for the sheer strangeness, the unsettling consistency, the undeniable terror that accompanied each encounter. The black-eyed children remained an enigma, a chilling reminder that there are still mysteries in this world that defy our understanding, forces beyond our control, creatures that lurk just beyond the reach of our perception. They were a whisper in the dark, a shiver down the spine, a glimpse into the abyss that lay hidden beneath the surface of our everyday reality. And as the stories continued to spread, as more and more people came forward with their own chilling accounts, one question lingered in the air, heavy with unspoken dread. What would happen if one day the black-eyed children stopped asking to be let in and simply entered? The origins of the black-eyed children are shrouded in mystery. Their existence a chilling anomaly that defies easy categorization. Some speculate they are simply figments of our collective imagination, modern-day boogeymen born from the shadows of our deepest fears. But the sheer volume of sightings, the chilling consistency of the encounters, suggests something far more unsettling, something that whispers of realms beyond our understanding. Could these be the spirits of the restless dead, trapped between worlds, their eyes reflecting the eternal darkness of the afterlife? Or perhaps they are demonic entities, their black eyes windows into the abyss, seeking to lure unsuspecting souls into their clutches. Theories abound, each more chilling than the last, yet none fully capturing the true nature of these eerie beings. Some paranormal researchers, delving into ancient folklore and forgotten lore, draw parallels between the black-eyed children and the creatures of myth and legend. Stories of fairies, goblins, and otherworldly beings who prey on human kindness, who lure the unwary with promises of wealth or power, only to lead them astray, their true motives shrouded in darkness. Could these modern-day encounters be echoes of these ancient tales, a chilling reminder that some things from the past are best left undisturbed? Or are we witnessing a new chapter in the ever-evolving tapestry of the paranormal, a manifestation of something ancient and powerful awakening in the shadows? Others, embracing a more scientific approach, speculate that the black-eyed children may be extraterrestrial visitors, their strange appearance and unsettling demeanor a result of their alien origins. Could these children be scouts from another dimension, their black eyes adapted to perceive realities beyond our limited human senses? Perhaps they are stranded here, their technology malfunctioning, forced to resort to desperate measures to contact their own kind. Or could they be harbingers of a coming invasion, their presence a prelude to a terrifying future where humanity is at the mercy of beings beyond our comprehension? The concept of interdimensional portals, gateways connecting our reality to countless others, has long been a staple of science fiction and fantasy. But what if these portals are not mere flights of fancy, but rather a chilling reality? Cracks in the fabric of space-time through which beings from other realms can slip into our world? Could the black-eyed children be evidence of these interdimensional breaches? Their sudden appearances and disappearances a testament to their ability to traverse the barriers between worlds? And if so, what does their presence mean for the future of humanity? Some believe the black-eyed children are not merely unsettling visitors, but rather harbingers of doom, their presence a sign of impending disaster or misfortune. They point to cases where sightings have been followed by unexplained phenomena, strange illnesses, or even untimely deaths. Could these children be drawn to places where the veil between worlds is thin, where negative energy is concentrated, their presence a warning of dark forces at play? Or are they, as some believe, agents of chaos, their very presence disrupting the natural order, their black eyes reflecting the unraveling of reality itself? The idea of children as harbingers of doom is not a new one. Throughout history, cultures across the globe have viewed children with a mixture of awe and trepidation, recognizing their innocence and vulnerability, while also acknowledging their connection to the spirit world, their ability to perceive things hidden from adult eyes. Could the black-eyed children be a manifestation of this primal fear, a representation of the unknown and unknowable forces that shape our world from the shadows? Or are they something entirely different? Something we're only beginning to glimpse, their true nature as elusive and unsettling as their black, fathomless eyes? The most unsettling aspect of the black-eyed children legend is their chilling request. Can we come inside? Imagine yourself in that situation. It's late at night and you're alone. Then a knock at the door. You peer through the peephole and see two children with black eyes. Can we come inside? Every instinct screams to refuse, but their vulnerability tugs at your heartstrings. You hesitate and they gain a foothold. Those who resist feel a wave of anger. The air grows heavy and dread descends. They represent our deepest fears, our anxieties about the unknown. So the next time you hear a knock at the door, listen to your instincts. Peer through the peephole, but be wary of what you might see staring back. If it's two children with eyes black as night, think twice before opening that door. Some invitations are best left unanswered, some mysteries best left unexplored. The black-eyed children remain an enigma, their true nature as elusive as the shadows they inhabit. Are they merely a figment of our overactive imaginations, a modern-day myth fueled by fear of the unknown, or do they represent something far more ancient and sinister? A glimpse into a realm where darkness reigns, and the lines between reality and nightmare blur. Whatever the truth may be, their legend serves as a chilling reminder that there are still mysteries in this world that defy explanation, forces beyond our control, entities that lurk just beyond the periphery of our perception, waiting for the right moment to reveal themselves. They are a whisper in the dark, a shiver down the spine, a glimpse into the abyss that lies hidden beneath the surface of our everyday reality. The next time you find yourself alone at night and you hear a knock at the door, take a moment to listen to your instincts. Peer through the peephole, but be wary of what you might see staring back at you. For if it's two children with eyes black as night, remember the stories, remember the fear, and remember this. Some doors are best left unopened, some mysteries best left unexplored. The black-eyed children are out there, watching, waiting, and sometimes the scariest monsters are the ones that look like children.